Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the Underwood Eagles, a record of 6-5 last year, but also a quarterfinal appearance in the 1A state playoffs. We're joined by head coach Nate McAllison, quarterback Garrett Lutt, number 10 there in the middle, David Foote, 67, and Leo Kassan. Coach, we'll start with you. Just a brief statement just about this team and what you expect this season.
Yeah, obviously last year, in terms of the way the season finished, we were happy with the way the season finished. I think we reached our potential as a football team, got back to another quarterfinal. I think that was 5 in the last 5 years, so we're proud of that. Kind of a different route to get there maybe last year than years past. Struggled early, and then struggled early in the district season as well. Obviously played a really tough non-district schedule and kind of took our lumps there, and then had some really close district losses. One possession type games that we just didn't pull out. But we won our last 2 games of the regular season, and we're able to kind of get some momentum going in the playoffs, and then obviously played our best football in the playoffs and ran into a really good Hinton team there in the quarterfinals. But like I said, kind of a different way to get to the quarterfinals than we've done in the previous years, but obviously proud of what we accomplished. This year's team will be probably a more experienced group than we had last year. We graduated some pretty important seniors, but we've got a lot of underclassmen that gained a lot of snaps. Obviously these guys here, 2 of them are linemen. We will return 5 of our linemen from a year ago. Didn't graduate anybody in that group. Obviously Garrett, the single caller for the last 2 years, is back. And then we'll have some pretty key pieces in the backfield as well. One place that we probably don't have as much experience is the wide receiver room. Obviously getting reps early in camp, we're going to be able to determine who's going to be able to play for us there. And then you flip to the other side of the ball defensively. Defensive line, we don't graduate anybody there. We were pretty senior heavy linebacker last year. We will replace those guys probably with some guys that have played a lot of football. They'll just be playing new positions, and then have some experience in the defensive backfield as well. So definitely a more experienced group this year than we had a year ago. Last year at this time we were replacing a senior class of 20. This year, obviously, not quite as many, but obviously some really valuable players moved on, a year ago. So, really happy about the summer we had. It was probably our best summer that we've had since I've been the head coach. And we challenged our kids to have a great summer, and they did. And we're just excited to obviously get the season going and ready to see what this group can accomplish.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open it up to questions for the student athletes.
I guess going right away, players. Wanting a new district here. A lot of familiar faces. I know a lot of you are multi-sport athletes here. You see Trainer, you see Tri-Center, you see Missouri Valley, Shenandoah, even in some sports there now. Just kind of talk about the new district and the new challenges it presents for you 3, and just go on down the line here.
I think it'll be lots of fun, especially with Tri-Center coming back up. And they obviously have done pretty good last year. I'm really excited to play again because last year I was out for my ACL. I'm excited to be with my boys again. But definitely getting that revenge on Trainer again. Huge for me. Sure we're all feeling that way.
It's pretty much the same district besides a couple teams. We're really excited to get back into playing, and we're excited for week 1. We're focused 1 game at a time right now, and working on camp and getting better every day. Practice with we have lifts in the morning, then practice at night, and so we're just working to get better every day.
I'm excited to play a couple new teams. Like we got Tri-Center in our district, like they said, but we're also playing like Clarinda, I-35, Harlan. A couple challenging games. I think it'll be fun to see how we can do against them.
You mentioned that right away. Thursday game on top of it, if I'm correct there. Get them at Yearfield on top there. Not many better power programs in the state other than the Harlan Cyclones. Starting the season off with them there. Just talk about that challenge and kind of getting a measuring stick of really where a lot of things are at here right off the gun here.
definitely it'll be a show of who we are and just how we're gonna own up to it. Like they're much bigger than us, but we have something to prove this year.
Yeah, Harlan's they're a powerhouse program for sure. They're always gonna be a good football team. Doesn't matter the year. They're always gonna have a lot of guys playing, a lot of really good players. So we're super excited to play them. Be a great non-district challenge for us, and we're just excited to play.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good challenge. They're a 3A school, a lot bigger than us. We'll get to play some good competition.
I was like years before you lost it the last year here, but got their best football, as coach was saying there at the end here. Talk about some motivations you had. So obviously, trying to get the district title back that you had for a few years strung together there before this previous season here, and just talk about all the motivations you had going into this season here as a couple weeks away from that first challenge we just talked about.
One of my biggest motives is this is our last year. Like it's all or nothing really, and just really trying to. We came off of that 6-5 season last year, and we know we're better than that, and we really want to show up and show the capabilities of Underwood.
I think it's all the close losses we had last year. We had close losses to just about every team we lost to, besides Kemper. But it's those losses that really motivate you to get better and grow as the year goes on. So we're just excited to play all the tough competition we have this year, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's our last year, but also I think we could have made it a lot farther than we did last season, and I'm excited to hopefully make it back to the Dome, get a little bit farther in this year.
Question for David, kind of that recovery from an ACL is obviously just about the toughest injury you can come back from, especially your position. Obviously, I know how important at the line of scrimmage, having healthy legs are. Can you just kind of talk about the recovery process and how you maybe put some precautions in place as you head into this season, what you've kind of done to get that knee back in shape?
Yeah, so I took that whole year off of basically everything and was just hitting therapy as many times as I could. And when I was not at therapy, when I was at home, I was doing stretches. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get back onto the field, but I kept that mindset of if I do this, I'll get back, even though it's just not possible. So now I'm much stronger to where I am now. New maxes, very mobile. Like it's almost like I never even tore it. Like it's stronger, and I'm just wearing braces just to make sure nothing does happen.
And then a question for you and for Leo, as kind of on that line of scrimmage, you've got an experienced quarterback that you guys are protecting back there. How does that kind of continuity? Coach mentioned, I think you said you had five starters coming back this year. How does that kind of help? How do both of you guys kind of lead that charge?
It'll definitely make Garrett, I feel like he would definitely feel a lot safer in that pocket, and me being back on that field, I know that I'll protect him, and I feel like, yeah, he's gonna have time.
All the experience coming back, I think it'll really help us in game. There's a lot of things we can do better this season than we did last year.
Kind of switching to you here, having a couple of these guys among others here protecting you here, gotta be nice to know, especially with once again, I know you also talked about it, seems like really for the third year in a row, every year that you've been behind center, the faces that you've been throwing to or handing the ball off to has always kind of changed. Having all these offensive linemen that are still familiar, that have been blocking for you a while, does that kind of make you a little more comfortable back there while you get used to your new targets?
Yeah, absolutely. Having a lot of real good players on the line it's always important, and to have studs like these two right here, it makes you feel a whole lot better standing back there throwing the ball. So yeah, it'll help me just with having time and having experienced guys there to get used to throwing to the new targets and hand the ball off to new people.
I guess one final question then for you, Garrett. Who have you seen as kind of emerging? I know it's really early kind of to tell, but who have you seen emerging? I know Kyle and Charlie were kind of some contributors last year, but who have you seen kind of emerging into guys who you can either hand the ball off to or throw to?
I'd say Charlie Myers for sure. He's one of the hardest workers I know. He works his tail off in the weight room, in other sports, and he's looking real good this year. He's fast, he's strong, low to the ground, and yeah, I'm hoping he has a real big year this year. I'm real confident in him. And then, it's really everybody at this point, though. That's looking good. I think we've got a lot of key guys coming back and a lot of new guys that'll step up into big roles this year.
All right, unless there's any other questions for the players, we move into questions for Coach. Awesome, you want to get started?
Coach, I guess going, asking the players here earlier, getting your own words on it here. I mean, the non-district schedule there early on there. I mean, starting off with Harlan, like I said earlier, not much bigger program power in the entire state than that there. I mean, before we even talk about the district or anybody else there, I mean, just kind of talk about that week 1 test right off the gun here.
Yeah, I guess, our mentality is we really like to challenge ourselves in the non-district, portion of the schedule. It's really important to us to figure out our weaknesses as fast as we can really. And playing a powerhouse like Harlan, they're going to expose every weakness we have. So, I mean, the goal with challenging yourself in the non-district is obviously you want to be battle tested, but we don't want to go into week 5 or 6 of the season and not know, what our weaknesses are. We want to identify them early. We want to work on them. We want to strengthen them. So at the end of the year, when it's time to play our best football, we've improved on those things drastically and are a better football team for them.
Definitely gonna have some challenges, like I said earlier, in the district play here. I mean, obviously, Trainer had 2 phenomenal battles with them last season here. Obviously, Tri-Center Class A champ coming up to 1A here as well. I mean, Shenandoah should be improved here. Red Oak, another team I know you guys have played a couple times here. I mean, just talk about the district here that, as you guys said, mostly familiar, but still some new challenges lie ahead there as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, top to bottom, it's a pretty tough district. Trainer obviously was a rated team for most of last year. I think only had a couple losses on the year, 1 to us, and then obviously Tri-Center early in the season. So they're a playoff caliber team that has a lot of experience coming back. A program that has pretty good success every single year. Tri-Center obviously had a phenomenal year a year ago. They're stepping up, and they'll be a big challenge, obviously, for not only us but the rest of the district. And then you mentioned Shenandoah. Shenandoah probably returns as much as anybody in the district in terms of production. So they'll be a team that'll be really quality as well. Obviously, like we stated earlier, I think playing a tough non-district schedule can prepare you for the test that is your district schedule. And I think we play Tri-Center and Trainer right out of the gates in the district, so we're going to kind of 2 weeks into the district, we're going to kind of know where we stand. So, we're excited about it. Obviously, getting Tri-Center back in the district renews that rivalry that we really haven't played for the last few years. So, we're excited about not only those 2 games, but the rest of our schedule. And like I said, kind of see where we stand and where everything shakes out.
Some heavy losses on the defensive side with Sam Schooning and Lucas Bowes. Both of those guys really got in the backfield. I think they combined for something like 45 tackles for loss last year, something like that. How do you kind of just retool? I know you got some other really good players coming back this year on that side, but what are you kind of looking at on the defensive side of the ball of what you need to maybe retool or replace from last year?
Well, I think this guy sitting here to my right is going to be a major impact player. Obviously wasn't a senior, but a guy that didn't play a snap last year because of injury. And I think those guys that you mentioned, Sam was a hybrid linebacker safety, and obviously Lucas was a linebacker. And those guys are only as good as the defensive lineman in front of them. And that's one thing we're going to lean on. We are heavy in terms of the amount of production that returns on our defensive line. We're going to be breaking in some new linebackers, but they won't necessarily be kids that aren't used to playing on Friday nights. They'll be experienced kids just in new positions. So, we'll try to put everybody in the best position to succeed, and that's always been the goal, and that'll be the goal moving forward. But just like any year, we're going to have guys step up at all 3 levels on the defensive side of the ball to be successful, and I have confidence that we're going to be able to put 11 really good football players out there and kind of see where it goes from there.
You talked a little bit about there, especially on the defense, flipping gears to the offensive side, kind of asked it with Garrett there. I mean, good to have so many guys back on the line, of course, and win the line of scrimmage there as well as a multi-year all-state quarterback there. I mean, just kind of talk about, the receiving core obviously, which you mentioned earlier, what kind of has been kind of the thing you've been looking for here to kind of find the weapons there, the best players to put on there, as well as the backfield, which I know you're looking to replace some production as well.
Yeah, I mean, last year going into the year, I would say the offensive line was an area, especially losing David. We knew we wouldn't have David going into the year. We really only returned Leo and Grady. I guess we did return Riker. But we were relying on some pretty inexperienced football players at that point. This year should be completely different. We'll have, we're gonna put 5 guys out there week 1 that played a ton of football. I mean, David and Leo and Grady, they've been starters for, this will be their 3rd year now. So obviously expect big things from them. Obviously it's a good feeling to have Garrett back there, calling the shots. It's an offense that he feels comfortable in. I think you did mention, some of our skill positions that are different and need to step up. That is true. I think obviously an experienced quarterback can help settle some of those guys down. Garrett's gonna put the ball in position for our guys to make plays, and I think we have guys that are capable of doing that. We just got to figure out who 3 or 4 of those guys are going to be. I think there'll be a pretty good competition in the backfield between Charlie Myers and Riley Sealock, both guys that got playing time last year, both explosive athletes, capable of really big things. And I think competition's the big thing. If we can get 5 or 6 guys that we can trust, catching the football, I think that'll lead to some success and some competition that our football team needs, and then obviously the backfield as well. So we'll rely on our experience on the offensive line and a quarterback, and I think will help the inexperience from the others. We'll be able to figure that out.
One final question. A lot of success recently for this program, for this team, and even last year when regular season record is down, you still make it to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Obviously, 9, 10 wins or 8 wins in each of the previous 5 seasons before that. How do you just kind of continue to sustain that success, and what are the goals that you set for the team this year?
Well, just, in terms of long-term goals, we really don't. It's not that we have a team meeting and say, hey, it's, semifinals or bust. These guys have never heard us say that. But they understand what the expectation is, and I think you can kind of hear that in their answers when you ask them questions. They understand, what our program's about and what we've been able to build it towards, and how we define success. And last year, although we got to the quarterfinal round of the playoffs, the 10 games before that were not always the prettiest things in the world. So we got to clean a lot of that up. I think we're on our way to doing that. Like David and Leo said, we've got some seniors that are. It's been 700 days since David's been able to play a snap of football. I think he's probably ready to play tomorrow if we could. So, I think these guys are just itching to get the season started and try to make a run at this their last year. And the standard is it won't change. It's not going to change. These guys know that. They know what the expectation is, and I have no doubt that they're going to do everything they can to get us back there.
Perfect. Thank you, Underwood. That's all the questions we have for today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.